Welcome to Sunday in the Man Shed with your old friend Mac. Well, first off, it's Canada Day long weekend, so I just want to take this opportunity to wish all my fellow Canadians a very happy Canada Day. I think there'll be some fireworks later tonight. I can actually see them not too bad from the front yard of our place, so I might be watching those. So the week, like most of the weeks, seemed to pass pretty fast. So during the week there, I just did a few quick videos, spontaneous videos, kind of reflecting on the events of the day. So I ended up with this little montage of the week that was. Well, good morning, friends. Guess what? It's Monday again. My least favorite day of the week. Ranks nowhere close to Friday. So anyways, beginning the commute once again to work. And it's raining. Fairly steady drizzle of rain. Which it is somewhat peculiar because we're told that a stage 2 drought has been declared. I'm not sure what a stage 2 drought is as opposed to a stage 1 drought or a stage 10 drought. But anyways, the authorities have declared a stage 2 drought. So they're starting to get a bit testy though when people ask them, well, what kind of a drought is it when it keeps raining all the time? So currently we're being told to ignore the rain, that it doesn't mean anything, just focus on the drought, folks. Okay, will do. So hopefully it doesn't rain all day. Hopefully we get some of that drought later today. Anyways, kind of a dreary day. It's actually cool out. I have to put my jacket on this morning. It's 12 degrees. For you Fahrenheit folks, that would be, I don't know, around 60-some degrees. A little bit cool. This is California. People would have their parkas on. This is Dragon Lotus Restaurant. This is really good Chinese food here. The place is packed on the weekends. We used to get takeout from them, but now you gotta wait about 2 hours for takeout, so we don't even bother anymore. They're a victim of their own success, I guess. Anyways, we shall see what wonders and joys Monday brings. So I should do just park there for an hour and watch the lake. Okay, friends, over and out. Well, friends, I'm back already. Monday almost started off bad again there. That car up ahead of me was actually a ghost car. So I went by him and he didn't flash his lights. I guess it wasn't at me. Anyways, I thought he was going to pull me over for operating my cell phone. I'm actually recording this using my cell phone. So, in the socialist utopia that I live in, if you touch your cell phone or anything while you're driving, they can make a case that that's operating a portable device. So that was fortunate. Anyways, my journey continues. Well, Monday is over. I'm just going to head home here. Just about to start the commute home. Had a couple of things to do before I started to head home though. One of them was I went over to the post office trying to get my dad's war records released from the Second World War. So I've had to go through 3 government agencies so far because, oh no, we've retired the records, go here, you go there, oh no, those records have been input here. So I'm at the right place. So I sent the paperwork in, and I got a letter on the weekend that I had to send them $5, and it had to be received within 30 days of the issuance of the letter. So, of course, the letter was already 10 days old by the time I got it. So I did up a $5 check, sent it back. So I thought, okay, no worries. This is like an envelope with a piece of paper in it. I thought, okay, well, I'll just send that email from where I'm at in BC to Ottawa. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. At $5 ready, I'm thinking, yeah, it'll be $2 or $3. So anyways, the woman throws it on the scale, does her math, $20 and change. So I'm thinking, that's not right. She must mean $2. I said, pardon me? $20 and change. I said, to send an envelope to Ottawa? Yes. Okay. So I guess we're back to regular mail. Theoretically, I got about 20 days for it to get there. So even at the post office's finest, usually they can beat that. So anyways, regular mail was about $2. So I guess I'm not... obviously don't send things by mail very much anymore. I'm kind of out of touch with what the rates are, apparently. So then I went over here to get a few groceries. Did some a little bit of shopping. And not a huge amount. And $70. Holy mackerel, that's a lot of money for what I got. So anyways, I guess I'm going to have to start adjusting my thinking when it comes to buying things. Theoretically, I'm going to be retired in a year and a little bit, so when you're working full time, you don't really worry about this stuff too much, or at least I don't. Maybe I should, but I don't. But anyways, when you're retired, it's a different story. So I'm going to have to start, I think the last year of working, or as long as I work, I'm going to have to start shopping like I'm retired. That may mean I may have to even end up buying domestic beer. It could come to that. It's not there yet, but it could come to that. So anyways, that's it. Reflections on a Monday that is no more. Bye for now. Okay, we're just doing a little job here at this. They sell a lot of tools here. We buy most of our Milwaukee tools and stuff here. So they've been broken into again for, I don't know how many times this is now, 4 or 5 times at least. And every time the thieves clean them out of their Milwaukee tools. So we're going to put a whole bunch of LED floodlights up around this place, so hopefully it's going to be so bright there that nobody will dare try and do anything untoward. So you know that Milwaukee tools are pretty good quality when the thieves take them and they leave Bosch and DeWalt and the rest of them behind. Makita, they don't usually take Makita. Strictly the Milwaukee tools they're after. So somewhere there is a black market for these things. Somebody is selling them new in the box at a drastically reduced price. Anyway, well, that's Tuesday. Okay, so I'm just about to go home. And it's raining again. I say this is the most bizarre drought I've ever seen. Morning, friends. It's Wednesday morning, hump day. This guy in this Jeep here, he's not in a rush to get to work this morning. So anyways, looks like not too bad of a day. Just before it's about 10 to 7 here, just 10 minutes or so from work. I just got home in time last night. This highway here was closed for about 5 hours last night. There was a serious accident here of an SUV and a motorcycle. Apparently had a head-on collision. It was raining pretty heavy when I left work, so I guess somebody lost control or whatever. No idea. So it must have just happened behind me. I didn't find out about it until later after I got home. So around here now, every time there's a serious accident, they do this accident scene reconstruction, where they shut the highway down, they take umpteen pictures. So, like say, this road was shut down for just about 5 hours. I think it was like 4.5 for sure anyways. Well, they were doing all that, so I think I said before, this is the only north-south route we have. So, this must be it right here. I see kinds of oil stains on the road. So I'm not sure why they do that accident scene reconstruction there. Obviously, I guess there's a reason for it, but I've never seen a follow-up or anything. They say, we discovered this due to the accident scene reconstruction, whatever. Anyways, I think it was a fairly serious accident there, so I'm not sure. I guess I'll find out today. Well, anyways, happy Wednesday. So I did a little bit of work on that little black truck I've got sitting in the driveway there. I've got to either get that thing running and start using it, or get it running and get rid of it, or something. It's actually embarrassed to say it's actually been sitting there for about 4 years. So. Anyways, I got to do something with it. So, but I got to get it running and stuff first. So anyways, I puttered around with that a little bit earlier today. Just a little bit of video from that. Yeah, I was doing a bit of work on this thing this weekend. Well, yesterday, Saturday. Gotta get the thing finished off. Needs a bit of interior work. I took some of the door handle. It's busted on the other side. So I'm gonna make up a list there and order some stuff off Rock Auto and get this thing finished for once and for all, get it back on the road. The hinge is busted in this canopy door, so I gotta take it off and find a hinge and replace it. And I gotta build a new back bumper for it here. Actually, this bumper's not in bad shape there. Just want a heavier duty one. Like this one I made for the front. So anyways, I don't know if anybody else, but it's so hard to regain momentum when you stop a project. So I wanted to bring a few parts in from the truck to work on in the van shed. Of course, the workbench was cluttered with a whole bunch of stuff, so I had to clean that up a bit first. There's a little bit of hoarding going on here in the van shed. I'm starting to run out of room wherever I turn. I've got stuff stacked everywhere. So anyways, just trying to get the workbench a little bit organized, put a few things away, and just a little recap of that. So Bronny and I are doing a little cleanup in here. Hey Bronny. Let's clean off the workbench so I can actually do some work on it. These anvils have been sitting up here for a year and a bit. Actually, they're pretty nice ones. They're both, I think they're both about 90 pounders, 80 pounders, something like that. One's a hay button, which you don't see up here very often. And I forget what this one is. Yeah, this one's a Brooks. Yeah, so this is Brooks, and that's a hay button. This Brooks still got nice edges on it and everything. Can never never pass up an anvil if I see one for sale. I have a fascination with anvils for some reason. I think it must be those Roadrunner cartoons as I watched as a kid or something. Still haven't found an Acme anvil though. This is a Stanley square. I bought this at a flea market last year. It's a nice heavy duty one. Never actually seen one like that before. So you know what that means. Oops. There. It means that it had to be bought. Let's see here. I'm slowly being overtaken by the stuff here. Slowly but surely. Another little square I have. So how did that happen, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you how that happened. I was using this as a guide for the plasma cutter and kind of drove over it. Still functional though. So after that I decided to stop using squares as guides for my plasma cutter. Alright, new temporary resting place for the anvils. These are my Eagle oiling cans. Got 3 of these and I got pieces for another one. These are really cool. Haven't bought one of these lately, but again, anytime I see one of these for sale, I grab it. The old Eagle number 66. These are actually, I don't know how old this is, probably 40s, 50s. Still work good. They look really cool. So as we traditionally do on Sunday in the man shed, we're going to do a little beer tasting. So I went to my beer store this morning when it opened up, but unfortunately there was very limited selection. Being the long weekend, people were hoarding and stocking up on beer. But I did find one that I hadn't tried before, and this is Red Stripe. This is a Jamaican lager, brewed in Jamaica. So I've never tried this guy before. Not a huge amount of information on here. Red Stripe beer, brewed and bottled by Red Stripe, Kingston, Jamaica. Oh yeah, and it's rep by Diego Canada Limited. See, Diego's that huge international liquor distributing conglomerate. Talked about them before. Not a huge amount of information otherwise. Jamaican lager, it's a 4.7% ABV, so this is what I call a light beer. And being as it's imported by Diego, this is probably readily available in Canada and the US, I would imagine. So anyways, without further ado, let's just try a little bit of this. I have the bottle opening hatchet. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, I still haven't got around to ordering the handle for this. I found the handle supplier, but it'll be on the list of things to do maybe this week. And I've got to order a whole bunch of truck parts tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. So right now, it's not a very functional axe, but it's a great bottle opener. Okay, so yeah, that's a nice blonde lager. Very little head on it. Yeah, very neutral aroma. Just not much any of a overpowering aroma of any kind. Doesn't really have a overpowering taste of anything, really. Yeah, it's not super flavorful. It's an easy drinking beer. I mean, again, this is a good summertime beer. You can have a few of these and not feel too many ill effects, but you know, I kind of like a strong bodied beer with a bit higher ABV. But this isn't that. Actually, these bottles, we used to have these little stubby beer bottles in Canada years and years ago. I think it was probably in the 60s they went to the long neck bottles. But this used to be, but all the Canadian beer came in these little stubby bottles back in those days. But that, you know, I was in elementary school in those days, so I really didn't drink too much, you know, just on the weekends, that type of thing. But I digress. Yeah, anyway, so like, this is a refreshing beer. Like, say, if you're a beer connoisseur, you're probably not going to like this too much, but, you know, it's a decent, refreshing beer. Not going to say anything bad about it. Just probably not something I'd buy on a regular basis. Red Stripe Lager. So again, I'd just like to say Happy Canada Day to all my fellow Canadians. Hope you had a great weekend. Stay safe, whatever you're doing. And actually, to our American counterparts, your July long weekend will be coming up. July the 4th. I think that's Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure. But that'll be a big holiday down there. So I hope everybody has a great up and coming week. Get to avoid Monday, get to go on to work on Tuesday, but sometimes I find those abbreviated weeks aren't that great either. All of Monday's problems carry over to Tuesday, and there's a bit of piling on to boot, but hopefully it won't be too bad. So again, everybody has a great week, stay safe, and as always, cheers.